Legacy of Communion, in memory of Father Franz-Josef Eilers, SVD. If you were to look at my academic credentials today, my master's and my PhD, you would see the name of the granting institution. But if you look closer, behind those degrees and that scholarship, you will find one man, Father Franz-Josef Eilers, SVD. To the world, he was a giant of social communication, a prolific author and executive director. But to me personally, he was the bridge to my future. I am who I am today professionally and academically because he believed in me. But my debt to him goes deeper than a degree. He wasn't just a professor who graded my papers. He was a spiritual father who graded my heart. I remember vividly the early days of my thesis work. I had submitted a reaction paper confident in my chosen theme. But the very next morning, he came to me with a completely different directive. He asked me to scrap my idea and instead write about intercultural communication in the life of St. Arnold Johnson. I was confused. The new theme seemed disconnected from what I proposed. But Father Eilers had a plan I couldn't yet see. He knew that before I could study modern theories, I had to master spiritual foundation. He was preparing me not just for a degree, but for future ministry. He was building a bridge for me from the spirituality of founder to the practical realities of communication. Academically, Father Eilers taught me that social pastoral communication isn't about media, gadgets, journalism, or the internet. It is far more profound. He taught me that true communication is rooted in theology. He showed me that the Holy Trinity is the perfect example of community of persons. Our goal as divine word missionaries is to mirror that communion, to connect, to listen, and to give of ourselves. This was the core of his teaching, communication as self-giving. He emphasized that communication is not the transfer of information, it is the transfer of self. Just as God communicated himself to humanity through Jesus, we are called to give ourselves in love. For Father Eilers, self-giving wasn't just a definition. It was the very soul of a missionary. And what about his vision for digital age and AI? If Father Eilers were here today looking at our digital transformation, I know what he would say. He never feared technology. He saw digital communication as a new aeropagus, a new public square for evangelization. But regarding artificial intelligence, I believe he would offer a word of caution. He would tell us that while AI can process data and mimic language, it cannot give of itself. Machines cannot love. They cannot offer the self-disposition that is the heart of true communication. He would challenge us to use these tools to enhance human dignity, but never to replace the face-to-face encounter. He would remind us that in an age of artificial intelligence, what the world needs most is authentic intelligence, the intelligence of the heart. Father Eilers lived this theology every day. He had a gift for seeing potential in people that they could not see in themselves. His legacy for the church is profound. He shifted our gaze from the tools of media to the heart of the gospel, reminding us that true communication is always an act of love. And for me, his legacy is personal. He did not just teach me how to be an academic, he taught me how to be a missionary. Father, thank you. Thank you for the scholarship that built my career. Thank you for the wisdom that guided my mind. And thank you for the fatherly love that saved my soul. I pray that you are now face to face with the master communicator, the triune God to whom you dedicated your life.